What is up, Broncos fans? The Denver Broncos show back here again to do another video. In this video, I just want to do a quick recap of what the Broncos did on day number 2 of the 2016 NFL Draft. The Broncos stayed pat at pick number 63 in the second round and pick number 98 in the third round. Made two selections. I was really happy with the player we selected with our third round pick. Not so much with our second round pick. Thought we made a very, very significant reach. I think a lot of people are kind of selling this narrative that the player we drafted in the second round is going to fill this void left behind that I don't think he's going to fill at all. So I was kind of split on what the Broncos did here on day 2 of the 2016 NFL Draft. I thought they had a pretty mediocre day after hitting an absolute home run, in my opinion, in the first round by trading up to get quarterback Paxton Lynch out of Memphis. But nonetheless, the Broncos did fill 2 positions of need here. Got a defensive lineman, which we needed. We needed some depth along that defensive front, and then we get a safety, which we obviously needed with David Bruton leaving in free agency to the Washington Redskins. Excuse me. So interesting day 2 for the Broncos, and again, kind of a day that I was kind of lukewarm on. Looking at our first pick that we made yesterday on day 2, pick number 63, of course, the last pick of the second round, we drafted Adam Gotsis, defensive lineman out of Georgia Tech. Again, I'm really not fond of this pick. People seem to be pretty split on this pick, but I'm kind of in the party that definitely isn't too fond of this pick. I thought we reached pretty significantly here for Gotsis. Gotsis seems like a great guy. He's a tough kid. Was born in Australia. He's a former rugby player, so he doesn't have a whole lot of playing experience, at least in terms of American football. Really hasn't played the game for that long. Again, is a tough player. Got a great motor. Definitely will help in the run game. Is a run stopper. He's big. He's strong. He's 6'4", 287 pounds. So he's got some great size. And apparently, our defensive line coach, Bill Kohler, really banged the table for this guy over the past several weeks, and was a big proponent and big advocate for him and reason why we drafted him. So you like that. If Bill Kohler sees some potential in this guy, then I'm kind of on board there. But you kind of just look at the production here of Adam Gotsis. Again, a lot of people are thinking this guy's going to come in and fill that interior pass rushing void that Malik Jackson left behind, which to me is just completely false and a total joke. This is a guy that had 12 sacks in 4 years at Georgia Tech, and the big knock on him by a lot of scouts seems to be that he has limited potential and limited upside as a pass rusher. He's not a very good pass rusher. Again, he's more effective in the run game. Again, he's tough. He's got a great motor. He's a great kid from what everyone says. He's a guy that's going to be well liked in our locker room. But we're not looking for another run stopper. I mean, we already have Vance Walker. We already have Sylvester Williams. We still have Derek Wolfe, who's obviously great against the run. We need an interior pass rushing presence, and I don't think this guy provides it. And you look at where a lot of analysts, draft analysts, and a lot of scouts had Adam Gotsis rated. A lot of people had a 3rd to 5th round grade on this guy, and you took him in the second round at pick number 63. Again, I thought we reached pretty significantly from him. For him, the big knock on him is that he has limited potential as a pass rusher. So that kind of worries you. And again, the production backs that up. 12 sacks in 4 years. That's not great. So again, it seems like a great guy. Seems like a guy that has somewhat of an upside, and I'm really looking forward to what Bill Kohler does working with him and kind of his development under Bill Kohler. But again, this is a guy that is being sold as a replacement to Malik Jackson, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. And he's also coming off a torn ACL. He tore his ACL last Halloween. So that again, that kind of adds some question marks here. Just kind of a big reach to me by the Broncos. Again, I'm glad to have another defensive lineman. We needed that, but it seems like this guy is really not what we were looking for, and really doesn't fill the void left behind by Malik Jackson. It just kind of another run stopper, which is not what we needed. We needed an interior pass rushing presence, and this guy isn't Malik Jackson. He's not the athlete Malik Jackson is. He's not as lengthy as Malik Jackson. And again, I don't think he has the natural pass rushing ability and potential that Malik Jackson showed coming out of Tennessee. So I definitely thought this was a bit of a reach by the Broncos, but nonetheless, look forward to seeing what Adam Gotsis does over the next few years. Look forward to seeing him getting healthy from this ACL injury. And again, all indications are this guy's got a great work ethic. Our D-line coach loves him. and you know, he's a great guy. He's a great character guy. And again, he hasn't played American football all that much, so I really look forward to seeing what his upside becomes and his development over the few years. But as of right now, I think the Broncos, I really didn't like this pick at all, and I think this was a very, very big reach by the Broncos here at pick number 63 at the end of the second round. And now to the second selection the Broncos made on day 2 of the 2016 NFL Draft. Of course, with the 98th selection, last pick of the third round, we selected Justin Simmons, safety out of Boston College. I absolutely love this pick, as I was, you know, not very fond of the Gotsis pick there, Gotsis pick, however you say his last name, at the end of the second round. Definitely was a fan of the Simmons pick here at the end of the third round. This kid is one of, I think, the better players in this draft, definitely one of the better safeties in this draft, and a lot of people seem to believe he could be one of the steals of this draft. You look at Justin Simmons, against safety out of Boston College, 6'2", 202 pounds, very lean safety. This guy's a great athlete. Put up some phenomenal numbers at the combine, ran a 4.6 140, had a 40-inch vertical jump, which I believe both were the best numbers among safeties in those categories. So again, this guy's a great athlete, freak athlete at the safety position. He also ran a 6.58 in the three cone drill, which is also a freakish time. And like Gotsis, a lot of people really have been banging the table for this guy as a character guy. A lot of people say this guy's a great teammate, great guy to have in your locker room, so you love hearing that. And again, is probably arguably the most well-rounded athlete in this draft class, and definitely probably the best athlete, at least of the safety prospects here in this draft class. And again, as I mentioned, a lot of draft analysts are really high on this guy. A lot of people saying he's one of the steals of this draft. I've seen a lot of people had a second-round grade on him. Even some people had a first-round grade on him. So to get, you know, first, second-round value with the last pick in the third round, you love seeing John Elway and company do that and get a player like Justin Simmons, who has that value, who has that upside in the end of the third round. And again, this is a guy that fills a position of need. He definitely kind of fills the void, unlike Gotsis. You know, with Malik Jackson, this guy does fill the void of that was left behind by David Bruton. He's a guy that will contribute right away on special teams. Probably will be one of our better special teams players day one. And again, is just so well rounded. The upside with this guy is huge. Again, is a freak athlete at the safety spot. He's a great tackler. One of the better tacklers at the safety position in this draft. He's a hard hitter. This is a guy that's also a ball hawk, has a lot of cover skills. Again, is a rangy, kind of tall safety at 6'2", 202 pounds. He had five interceptions last year for Boston College, which led the team and led their defense last season. So again, this guy that's got tremendous cover skills. He's a ball hawk and has a ton of versatility. He's played both safety positions at Boston College. He also played the cornerback position, defensive back position, at Boston College as well. So I mean, this is a guy that I think is just another really, really phenomenal selection by John Elway, kind of another home run like Paxton Lynch was in the first round. Again, seems we got great value taking Simmons here in the third round. And again, it is a guy that will fill a void right away. He will replace David Bruton right away. Again, could not be happier that we got this guy in the third round. And really looking forward to what he does next year. Again, will contribute right away on special teams, and look forward to seeing what he does when he does get snaps at the free safety position. And like I said, maybe even we play him at that nickel corner spot. It'd be interesting to see what the Broncos do with him, a guy that you can line up all across the secondary, and again will contribute day one on special teams. And this guy's a freak athlete. I mean, his upside is tremendous. So that's my recap of what the Broncos did on day 2 of the 2016 NFL Draft. Again, in the second round, pick 63, they select Adam Gotsis, defensive lineman, Georgia Tech. And then at pick number 98, at the end of the third round, they select Justin Simmons, safety out of Boston College, who I think is just a phenomenal pick. So leave me a comment below. What do you think of these two selections by the John Elway and the Broncos? What do you think of Gotsis and Simmons as prospects? And anything else that happened, you know, on day 2 of the NFL Draft? I'd love to hear from you guys. Love the comments you guys left me on the video I did about the Broncos draft and Paxton Lynch. So now we move on to day 3 of the NFL Draft, which gets underway here in about an hour and 15 minutes. Looking forward to it. Broncos got a lot of holes left to fill, and they got a lot of ammo to do that. They got 6 picks here on day 3, so it'll be interesting to see if maybe they move up. We still could draft, obviously, interior offensive linemen, just offensive linemen in general. We could use a running back. Again, I would like to see us draft an interior pass rusher, because again, I don't think Gotsis really is the guy to fill that void that Malik Jackson left behind, and even inside linebacker. Obviously, there's still a hole and void there that Danny Trevathan left behind that we haven't filled yet. So definitely a lot of work still left to do for the Broncos, and again, they have the picks to do so. The Broncos have found some gems in the later round under John Elway. Of course, we drafted Danny Trevathan, Julius Thomas, Malik Jackson, Matt Paradis even. We've found some pretty quality guys in these later rounds, the 4th to 7th round. So really looking forward to see what the Broncos do here in day 3 of the 2016 NFL Draft, and if they can kind of continue that trend of finding these gems in the later rounds of the draft. So thank you for watching, guys. Keep enjoying the NFL Draft, and as always, go Broncos. Thrilled with what they did on day 1. Kind of lukewarm with what they did here on day 2, but man, getting Justin Simmons at the end of the 3rd round was a heck of a steal and pick by John Elway. Looking forward to again what he does, and looking forward to see how Gotsis develops under Bill Kohler over the next few seasons, and especially the start of this season once he's healthy from that ACL injury.